1778 lived in a gray, colorless world known as the state, where people work without thought, emotion, freedom, discussions, meaningful talk, or dreams. But he always felt as though things were off, as if the world had gone through a filter that distorted everything. On this day, 1778 was walking down the street in the sea of citizens, all wearing the same gray clothes. 1778 walked across the street to where he was working that day. Inside, he met the manager of the plant.
I am here to do formal reviews of the workers at this plant. Are you 1974, the factory manager?
Yes. You're scheduled to come in today. We prepared an office. Follow me.
The plant manager leads 1778 to a blank, empty office. 1778 puts his supplies on the desk and calls for the next person.
Employee 1974, come in.
Employee 1974 enters the room.
So today I am evaluating you in regards to your assignment. We have already established you are the manager here. How would you rate the quality and productivity of your work?
I do my job at the speed and quality that is designated by the government.
Is there anything else you would like to note?
The smoke from this factory is becoming a problem for the air. I cough up black dust, but whenever I tell anybody, they say I shouldn't mention it.
On this day, 1778 evaluated each worker's performance, left without a word, and went home to his plain, average apartment on the 40th floor of his apartment complex. He looked out his window and pondered why the living complex he was assigned to was like all the others. He awoke the next day and went to another factory, where he did short, curt evaluations of workers, never deviating from the script, until one day when reviewing an accountant for the government.
So employee 1517, I am here to evaluate you in regards to your assignment. You are an accountant, correct?
Yes.
How would you consider your job performance and speed?
I think I do a great job. And honestly, I always get it done pretty quickly.
Okay, well then, do you have any comments or anything else about your job you would like to point out?
It's run very inefficiently here. It's almost like they're purposely that way.
Why do you think this?
I don't know. I just do the same work 10 times over to ensure maximum quality. It seems like there could be more efficient ways to do it. And on top of that, the state tells me everything is perfect. But I cough off black soot from pollution. It's almost like they're telling me what the truth is.
Well, okay. I suggest you keep your opinion to yourself. Your performance review is concluded.
Later that day, 1778 went home and saw his living place in a new way. Instead of it simply being a place to sleep, he saw a bleak, dull, and depressing place that was assigned to him. He thought about why life was this way, why he should do the same job day in and day out without any say in what he wants to do. He slept fitfully that night with troubled dreams plaguing him like the black smoke in the sky. Upon waking in the morning, 1778 looked out his window and saw a world without individualism, where the state was the only thing. The people had no freedom, individualism, or ego in the literal sense of the word, in which they weren't even allowed to think. He went to his job despite thinking this, and he was due to interview the factory again, specifically about the pollution.
So I recognize you from before. You are the plant manager, correct?
Yes.
So, what do you think of the pollution, and how, whenever you told people, they said to not say anything about it?
Oh, I've never been asked anything like that before. I think it's bad. Everybody coughs up stuff like me. Our factory's putting out all of it. And yet, whenever I try and tell anybody, They insist everything is perfect and hand me another flyer about the state and all they do for us. I love the state, but I feel as though I'm not being listened to.
Interesting. I didn't realize I was the only one, or that others thought this way.
I don't know. Everybody never talks, and the state tells us that we should be focusing on our work instead of talking, because it is a waste.
Yes, they do. How about you meeting me at my living space? It is column 248 and row 812, floor 15, room 850.
That night, they met in 1778's room. They discussed the state, their lives, their assignments, the lack of discussion or even talking. They also talked of how the government didn't want them talking of pollution, or really anything, and how according to the state, everything was perfect.
You should leave before anyone else gets off the streets and they'll notice when you walk back.
Yes, I will leave now.
With that, he left. This would sadly be the last time 1778 and 1974 would see each other. That night, the state sent out teams to relocate them to a different area, one where they couldn't talk about anything happening.